Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. So if you're a freelancer, a small business owner, or honestly, just an everyday shopper, you've probably stared at a receipt or an invoice and felt that familiar VAT calculation headache creeping in, right? It's a daily task, but it kind of trips up so many of us. Well, today we're going to dive right in, clear up the confusion once and for all, and make sure you literally never second-guess your invoices again. Because, let me ask you a quick question. Are you calculating your VAT wrong? You might be quietly overstating your tax every single time you try to remove VAT from a total price. It's actually the most common mistake out there. But don't worry, today we're fixing it. We're going over the golden rules of adding and removing VAT the absolute right way.
Okay, to make this crystal clear, we're just going to use one super simple running example today. Imagine you're a freelancer and you're invoicing exactly £250 net for a project. Now, this £250, that's our mathematical baseline. It's just the pure value of your hard work before any tax whatsoever is added to the bill.
Now, adding VAT, that's usually the easy part. At the standard 20% UK rate, you simply take that $250 net price and you just multiply it by 1.20, and boom, that gives you a $300 gross price. So out of that $300 total, exactly $50 is the VAT that you'll eventually pass on to the taxman. Simple enough, right?
But here's where it gets tricky. And this is exactly where most people fall into a really dangerous trap. When you want to reverse that math, like when you have the gross price and you need to find the net, you absolutely do not just subtract the percentage rate. We call this the subtraction trap. Let's look at exactly how this trap springs on you. Say you take that $300 gross invoice and you simply subtract 20% on your calculator. Well, you get $60. But hold on a minute. We just established in our very first step that the actual VAT we added was only $50. If you just subtract 20% and record $60 as your tax, well, you're mathematically wrong. And honestly, what's worse, you're needlessly giving away your own hard-earned money.
So the wrong way, just subtracting 20%, gives you this total illusion of £60 in tax. The absolute right way to remove VAT from a gross price, you divide by 1.20. You take that £300, you divide it by 1.20, and you get safely back to your original £250 net price, revealing the true £50 of VAT. Guys, that is a crucial $10 difference on just one single small invoice.
So, what does this all mean? Well, the really crucial point here is understanding the core logic of why this happens. You see, that is always calculated on the net price. That 20% was originally added to the smaller £250 figure, not the larger £300 gross figure. If you take 20% off the larger number, it's always going to give you a bigger, completely incorrect amount. You literally have to use division to work backwards to your original baseline.
Now, I love a good practical tip, so here is a fantastic shortcut if you're working with that 20% VAT rate. If you have a gross total and you just want to instantly isolate the VAT portion, just divide the gross total by 6. Try it out with our example right now. £300 divided by 6 equals exactly £50. It works flawlessly every single time because a 20% VAT actually represents exactly 1/6 of a 120% gross total. Pretty cool, right? And you know the really beautiful thing about this math? It's completely universal. This exact division method works perfectly globally. You just swap out the rate for your specific country. So if you're in Germany at a 19% rate, you just divide by 1.19 to remove it. Over in the UAE at 5%, you divide by 1.05. Even down in Australia, where it's called GST and sits at 10%, you just divide by 1.10. It's that easy.
Now, of course, if you'd rather just skip doing manual math altogether, there is an ultimate shortcut. You can literally just use toolstack's completely free VAT Calculator to add or remove VAT instantly. It keeps the rates for over 40 countries right on hand. It handles standard and reduced rates, and it even features a built-in invoice calculator. Best part? The whole shebang runs directly in your browser with absolutely no sign-up required. So are you ready to stop overpaying and start calculating your VAT with total confidence? Whether you memorize that simple division rule or just let the free toolstack calculator do all the heavy lifting for you, you are now officially immune to the subtraction trap. Though I gotta admit, it does make you wonder, how much money have you accidentally given away on your past invoices? Something to think about. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, here's to perfectly balanced books moving forward.